There is one witness to every chapter of your life. The late-night doubts, the quiet wins. No one saw the moments you thought would break you. You. From the minute the alarm goes off, the world starts negotiating for your time, your attention, your energy. Emails, expectations, opinions. Each tug pulls you a little farther from the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself. The ancient Stoics never confused self-love with ego. They treated it as discipline, the daily practice of tending to your inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When your thoughts toward yourself are firm and kind, you grow resilient. When they're harsh and suspicious, you shrink. In a noisy world, self-love isn't a luxury, it's a survival skill. Self-love means becoming your own ground. It means choosing your values when the crowd forgets your worth. It's the quiet confidence of not chasing applause because you're rooted in your own truth. Without it, everything starts to wobble. Relationships feel heavy instead of nourishing. Every criticism lands like a verdict. Your spirit gets tired of begging for crumbs of attention from rooms that go dark when you enter. But when you practice a Stoic kind of love, steady, principled, and practical, you pour concrete into your foundation. You stand a little taller, less shaken by shifting opinions, less poisoned by comparison, more at home in a life that fits your shape. If you felt overlooked too much or never enough, this is your turning point. Love yourself more than anyone else does, not from arrogance, but from duty and wisdom. When you honor yourself, you become powerful and peaceful at the same time, unbreakable without being unkind. Over the next moments, here's the first of 7 Stoic habits to rebuild self-worth, one realistic step at a time. Let the words meet you where you are and carry forward what serves you. Anchor phrase. For today, I choose to love myself first. Habit 1. Stop pleasing everyone, start pleasing you. People-pleasing looks kind on the surface, but it often hides a quiet act of self-abandonment. It's the smile you put on when your chest is tight, the yes you say while your whole body whispers no. Epictetus warned, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. He wasn't asking you to be rude, he was asking you to be free. Because when your peace depends on other people's comfort, you become a prisoner of their moods. Psychologists have long observed that chronic appeasing, what they call unassertive or fawning behavior, correlates with higher stress and burnout. Your body keeps the score, shallow breaths poor, sleep and nervous system always braced for the next request. Assertiveness. Training clear requests. Clean nose and boundary scripts consistently improve self-esteem and reduces anxiety because it returns control to where it belongs, your choices, not their reactions. The Stoic framing is simple. What's outside your control? Others' approval is fog. What's inside your judgment? Your word, your actions is bedrock. A quick story. Maya is a charge nurse, the kind of person everyone asks for just one more favor. She used to say yes to extra shifts, yes to weekend plans she didn't want, yes to staying late to fix what wasn't hers to fix. She told herself it was kindness, but her body told the truth. Headaches, resentment. A life she experienced in fast forward. She tried 3 changes. First, the 24-hour rule. I don't commit on the spot. I'll get back to you tomorrow. That pause cut impulsive yeses in half. Second, the boundary formula. I'm not available for X. Here's what I can do. Y. Clear brief, no apology tour. Third, the calendar test. If there wasn't space on her calendar, there wasn't space in her life. 6 weeks later, her sleep was back. Her laughter lingered, and people respected the yeses because they could finally trust her no's. Practical tools to start today. 1-sentence no. Thanks for thinking of me. I'm not able to take this on. Stop there. Explanations invite negotiation. Choose a loyalty. When stuck, ask, if I betray one person, here will it be me? Choose the loyalty that lets you face the mirror. Pre-commit your bandwidth. Block time on your calendar for rest, exercise, and deep work. If it's not scheduled, it's surrendered. Expect discomfort. A boundary without discomfort is just a suggestion. The first sting fades, the freedom stays. Reframe kindness. Kindness that costs your self-respect is not kindness. It's people-pleasing in nice clothes. Stoicism doesn't ask you to stop caring. It asks you to care cleanly without sacrificing your center. You can be generous and still have edges. You can be compassionate and still be clear. Each time you choose self-respect over approval, you dye your soul a deeper color of strength. Repeat the anchor phrase, breathe and stand where your feet are. I choose to love myself first. If you care too much about what others think, you'll always be their prisoner. On the surface, people-pleasing looks harmless. It looks like kindness, like being a good person, like doing what's right. But slowly, without noticing, it becomes one of the most damaging forms of self-abandonment. You say yes when your heart screams no. You show up for everyone except yourself. You smile brightly while breaking apart inside. Piece by piece, you lose touch with who you truly are. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." What he meant is simple: you must choose your own truth over the approval of others. Because when you cling too tightly to other people's opinions, you can't hear your own voice. You get so busy managing their moods, emotions, and expectations that you forget to check in with your own. Loving yourself means recognizing that your peace of mind matters as much as anyone else's. The pursuit of pleasing everyone is not only impossible, it is exhausting. Think of the toll it takes when you constantly push yourself to be agreeable, patient, and understanding even while you're hurting inside. That suffocating heaviness you feel is your soul reminding you your needs, your desires, and your boundaries are valid too. The harsh truth is that people-pleasing is often fueled by fear, not love. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of being judged or abandoned. But here's what the Stoics understood: when you make choices out of fear, you surrender your power. You stop leading your own life and become a puppet pulled by other people's strings. Freedom begins the moment you stop running from the discomfort of disappointing others. It's okay if someone doesn't like your choice. It's okay if someone disagrees or feels unsettled by your boundaries. Their temporary discomfort is a small price to pay for your lifelong freedom and authenticity. And here's the truth: the people who genuinely care for you will respect your limits. The ones who get angry, manipulative, or controlling when you say no, they were never meant to hold space in your closest circle. This isn't about becoming selfish or rude. It's about balance, learning to care for others without abandoning yourself. You can be compassionate while still protecting your peace. You can be supportive without draining your own energy. Start practicing small steps today. Say no without justifying or apologizing. Share your real opinions even when they don't match the room. Choose your comfort over someone else's convenience. At first it will feel strange, maybe even selfish. But remember, there is nothing selfish about genuine self-respect. Each time you choose yourself, you affirm something powerful: I matter. My feelings matter. My needs matter. My dreams matter. Over time, that choice lightens your spirit. You breathe easier. You feel safe and secure within yourself. And you realize you can trust yourself to protect your heart even when the world doesn't understand. That is the first step toward living with unshakable confidence. Let go of the false belief that love always means sacrifice and self-denial. Real, healthy love begins with self-love. The more you honor and respect yourself, the more powerful and radiant you become. Authentic confidence glows from within, and when it does, people feel it without you saying a word. You stop begging for attention or chasing approval because your very presence commands respect. Trying to please everyone is a game you cannot win. But living in alignment with your own soul and honoring your truth, that is the path to becoming truly unstoppable. Write this into your reality: I will no longer betray myself for others. Now let's move to the second Stoic habit. Treat your body like a temple. Socrates once said, "No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable." Your body is not just flesh and bone, it is the sacred home where your soul resides every single day. You cannot claim to truly love yourself if you treat your body as disposable, temporary, or unworthy of care. Stoic wisdom reminds us that self-worth is built on respect, and the deepest form of respect is caring for the vessel you live in. But in today's fast-paced world, too often we treat our bodies like machines, pushing them past their limits, feeding them processed fuel, depriving them of rest, then wondering why we feel anxious, empty, or disconnected. Your body was never meant to survive on chaos and neglect. It was meant to be nourished, protected, and honored like the most precious treasure you have. Health is the foundation of everything. Without energy, dreams fade. Without strength, you can't support those you love. Without vitality, even the most beautiful moments lose their joy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What injures the hive injures the bee." The same is true of your body when you neglect it. Every part of your life suffers. Your mood becomes unstable, your confidence disappears, and your mindset crumbles into defeat. But when you start caring for your body through mindful movement, deep rest, clean food, fresh air, and simple rituals of self-care, everything shifts. You begin to feel proud of yourself. You walk taller. You believe you deserve good things because you are treating yourself like someone who is worthy of them. Treating your body like a temple is not about chasing perfection or meeting society's beauty standards. It's not about obsession with appearance. It's about respect. Each time you eat nourishing food, you say to yourself, "I care about me." Each time you move your body, you remind your spirit, "I am alive and grateful for this gift." Each time you choose rest, you whisper to your soul, "You are safe with me and I will protect you." This is how self-love takes root, not as vanity, but as discipline and devotion to the one body and life you've been given. When you prioritize rest and recovery, you whisper to your soul, "You are safe with me and I will protect you." That simple act of care builds trust within yourself. Transformation begins with small, deliberate steps. Start with food, not as a way to fill emotional voids, but as true fuel for your body. Choose meals that make you feel vibrant and alive instead of sluggish and regretful. Move your body daily not to punish its appearance, but to celebrate the miracle that it can stretch, dance, and carry you through this life. Guard your sleep like your life depends on it, because it truly does. Sleep is where your body repairs, heals, and restores its strength. And finally, detox not only from unhealthy food, but from the chaos, drama, and toxic environments that rob your peace. Tiny choices matter. A glass of water instead of a soda. A short walk instead of endless scrolling. Going to bed early instead of spiraling into late-night overthinking. Eating a nourishing breakfast instead of skipping meals. These small acts practiced consistently send a powerful message to your subconscious. I am worthy of care. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of respect. That belief starts to shine through everything: how you speak to others, how you face challenges, how you envision your future, and how you refuse to settle for less than you deserve. Treating your body like a temple has nothing to do with vanity. It's not arrogance, it's discipline, consistency, and wisdom. True success, relationships, or wealth mean nothing if your health is falling apart. Your body is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Protect it, nurture it with intention, and your entire life begins to transform in remarkable ways. Now comes the third Stoic habit. Kill the comparison game. Lao Tzu once wrote, "When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everybody will respect you." Comparison is one of the most silent but devastating thieves of joy. You can begin your morning calm, content, and grateful until one scroll on social media or one offhand comment makes you question everything. Why am I not there yet? Why doesn't my life look like theirs? What's wrong with me? Why do I feel so far behind? Here's the truth. Stoicism offers comparison blinds you to the unique beauty of your own journey. Seneca reminded us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Constant comparison creates a hunger that never ends. You crave what others have while dismissing what you already possess. You start running someone else's race, abandoning your own timeline, shrinking your worth without even realizing it. Loving yourself means cutting this toxic habit before it destroys your confidence, your peace, and your self-respect. Awareness is the first step and practice is the second. Every time you compare yourself, you add invisible weights, shame, jealousy, resentment, inadequacy. You measure your raw, unfiltered reality against someone else's highlight reel, the best moments they carefully curate, and in that game you will always feel behind. Freedom begins when you refuse to play. The truth is simple but profound. Your life was never meant to look like anyone else's. Your struggles, your timing, your lessons, your blessings, they are uniquely designed for the exact person you are becoming. When you fixate on someone else's path with envy or inadequacy, you miss your own evolution unfolding right in front of you. You skip over your victories, you overlook your growth, you fail to appreciate just how far you've already come. Comparison steals clarity. It blinds you to your progress and leaves you feeling small even when you've climbed mountains. To break free, practice self-awareness. Catch yourself in those moments when comparison sneaks in and firmly shift back to gratitude. Instead of asking why them and not me, ask why not me at my own perfect time. Let others' success be proof, not threat, proof that greatness is possible and that it will arrive in your life in your own unique way. The next step is redefining success on your terms. Not everyone wants the same things. Some crave recognition, others prefer privacy. Some chase wealth, others long for simplicity. Some live for adventure, others for stability. Your task is to decide what actually brings you fulfillment, peace, and pride. That's your ruler. That's your compass. Once you commit to walking your path with full attention, comparison begins to fade because you're too busy building a life that feels true. Practical choices anchor this shift. Spend less time scrolling and more time living. Cut back on content that feeds your insecurity and replace it with reminders of your own progress. Track your wins, however small. Celebrate lessons learned. Keep a journal where your growth is written in ink so you can see the proof of your momentum. When you honor your own timeline, you send a message of self-love with every word and every step. The ultimate freedom comes when you realize there is no competition. No one else has your exact mind, your dreams, your scars, your resilience. When you finally see your life as rare, sacred, and beautifully unfinished, comparison loses its grip forever. That's when you begin playing the only game that truly matters, becoming a better, more authentic version of yourself for yourself. Now we arrive at the fourth Stoic habit. Speak to yourself like a best friend. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul is dyed by the color of its thoughts." Imagine your closest friend came to you, broken-hearted, doubting themselves, feeling lost. Would you call them weak? Would you criticize their looks, their mistakes, their failures? Of course not. You would encourage them. You would remind them of their worth, their strength, their potential. And yet, so many of us speak to ourselves in ways we would never speak to someone we love. Self-talk. The constant dialogue in your head shapes your relationship with yourself more than anything else. Harsh, critical thoughts slowly erode your sense of worth. Kind, supportive thoughts build stability, motivation, and confidence. Loving yourself more than anyone else means becoming your own ally, your own cheerleader, protector, and friend. Replacing self-abuse with self-compassion changes everything. It means silencing the cruel critic inside your head and choosing instead to encourage yourself. Too many people walk through life carrying a harsh inner voice that whispers, "You're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not attractive enough, you'll never succeed." This voice drains your energy, crushes your creativity, and keeps you locked in fear and self-doubt. But here's the liberating truth that Stoicism teaches us: that critical voice is not you. It is an echo of what you've absorbed from others, painful experiences, society's unrealistic expectations, or moments when you felt rejected. The good news is you hold the power to rewrite that dialogue. You decide which voice gets to speak in your mind. You choose whether your thoughts will build you up or break you down. Starting today, speak to yourself as someone worth protecting and encouraging. When you make a mistake, don't attack yourself. Instead, remind yourself, "I'm human, I'm learning, I'm growing." When fear whispers that you're too weak to take a risk, answer with, "I've survived harder things before. I can do this too." When doubt creeps in, don't collapse into self-pity. Say, "I may not feel certain, but I trust myself enough to keep going." To change your self-talk, begin with awareness. Catch those negative thoughts as they appear and refuse to treat them as truth. Replace them with compassion. Instead of "I always mess up," say "I'm still learning and improving every day." Instead of "I hate the way I look," say "I'm grateful for all the ways my body carries me through life." Instead of "I'm so stupid," say "I made a mistake and that's how I learn." Don't just silence. The critics speak your worth into existence. Daily affirmations are not empty cliches, they are mental training. Just like your body needs exercise to stay strong, your mind needs empowering words to build unshakable confidence. Tell yourself with conviction, "I am worthy of love and respect. I am becoming wiser every day. I believe in my ability to create the life I want. I am proud of my effort." Make it a daily habit to speak to yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a struggling friend. Celebrate your efforts, not only your results. Acknowledge your progress, not just your destination. Comfort yourself during setbacks instead of piling on shame. When you consistently treat yourself like your own best friend, everything shifts. You stop accepting disrespect. You stop chasing scraps of love. You stop tolerating what doesn't honor your worth. Because your inner voice now reminds you every day that you deserve respect, love, and dignity. Becoming your own best friend is not arrogance. It is wisdom. It is maturity. It is the realization that the way you speak to yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. I speak to myself with love and power. With that affirmation, we step into the next habit: love your own company. Seneca once said, "He who is afraid of being alone is afraid of being free." And isn't that true? Many people feel a deep sense of panic when faced with the idea of being alone. They drown themselves in constant noise, scrolling through social media, surrounding themselves with people chasing distractions, anything to avoid sitting in silence with their own thoughts. But if you want to truly love yourself, you must build the courage to be alone without feeling lonely, anxious, or empty. The Stoics believed solitude is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Because it is in solitude that you are finally forced to meet yourself, to confront your thoughts, to face your fears, to discover your real desires and values. And only then can you begin to grow into the person you're truly meant to become. When you learn to love your own company, you become emotionally untouchable. You no longer cling to low-quality relationships just to fill a void. You stop depending on others for constant entertainment, comfort, or validation. Instead, you uncover a deeper, quieter kind of joy, the kind that comes from knowing you can feel peace and happiness simply by being with yourself. That is the essence of true self-love. The fear of solitude often comes from not truly knowing or even liking yourself. If you never spend time alone, you remain a stranger to the most important person in your life. You become so busy managing everyone else's needs that you forget to develop a relationship with yourself. The solution is simple but powerful. Spend intentional quality time with yourself. Turn off your phone. Step away from the background noise. Take long walks and let your thoughts wander freely. Sit alone at a cafe and observe life. Read books that challenge your perspective. Journal your fears, dreams, and reflections. At first, solitude may feel uncomfortable. That voice of anxiety might say, "This is strange. People will think I'm lonely." But those thoughts are illusions. Solitude is not punishment, it's freedom. With every moment you spend with yourself, you begin to uncover your authentic desires, your natural strengths, your hidden fears, and your deepest dreams. You get to know yourself just as you would get to know a dear friend, by listening carefully and paying attention to what truly matters. Loving your own company also means creating an environment where being alone feels joyful. Fill your space with things that nourish your soul. Warm lighting that brings peace. Music that stirs your spirit, books that spark curiosity, art that speaks to your heart. Cook yourself beautiful meals, not just to fuel your body, but to show yourself love and care. Celebrate your milestones privately before you share them with others, as a way of saying, "I see you, I honor you, I am proud of you." This is not isolation, this is empowerment. Because when you find peace within your own company, you carry a kind of strength that no one can take away. Learn to laugh at your own thoughts, dance freely in your room, smile at yourself in the mirror with genuine affection. When you can do these things and feel joy, peace, and love rising from within, you know you are becoming emotionally free. This does not mean isolating yourself forever or avoiding relationships. It means showing up to friendships, romantic connections, and social spaces already whole and complete, not desperate, needy, or empty. You begin to connect with others because you want to, not because you are afraid of being alone or are searching for someone to fill a void. When you love your own company, you no longer cling to people, beg for attention, or tolerate treatment beneath your worth. Instead, you love others from a place of strength and abundance. To deepen this practice, create meaningful rituals with yourself. Maybe it's taking yourself out for breakfast every Sunday morning to plan your week in peace. Maybe it's writing down 3 things you appreciate about yourself every night before bed. Maybe it's taking a solo trip, proving that you can find joy in your own company anywhere in the world. Over time, solitude shifts. It stops feeling boring or lonely and starts feeling sacred, peaceful, and empowering. You become your own safe place, your own source of comfort, your own best companion. This is the essence of true self-love, knowing that the most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. When you are genuinely happy alone, you carry a power that transforms every area of your life. Other people become beautiful additions, not desperate necessities. The foundation of your joy rests firmly within. Now we step into the 6th Stoic habit: chase goals that fire you up. Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be and then do what you have to do." There is a unique kind of strength that awakens when you pursue goals that truly ignite your soul. Not goals dictated by society, not dreams chosen for you by family expectations, not ambitions designed to impress others. Authentic self-love means building a life fueled by inner passion, genuine curiosity, and personal meaning, not fear, pressure, or external approval. When you chase goals that light you up, you unlock a level of energy and discipline that most people never experience. Each morning you wake with a reason to grow, to improve, to create. Life begins to feel purposeful, exciting, and full rather than empty or draining. Epictetus believed that our daily actions must align with our identity and values. If you want to love yourself more deeply, you must prove it by showing up for your own dreams with consistent effort. The tragedy is that many people live lives that look successful on the outside but feel hollow inside. They earn degrees they never wanted because it was expected. They stay in jobs they despise because they pay well or look respectable. They force themselves into routines that drain their energy, telling themselves it's normal because everyone else is doing the same. But Stoicism reminds us living for the approval of others is a form of slavery. Freedom comes when you dare to chase the fire within you, even if it feels risky, even if others don't understand. Take the time to ask yourself honestly, what do I truly want to create, build, or become? What makes me feel alive, curious, and brave just by thinking about it? That answer is your path, and when you walk it, you not only honor yourself, you set yourself free. Ask yourself the questions that truly matter. What kind of work would I do even if no one paid me? What skills would I love to master? What problems do I want to solve? What kind of impact do I want to make? What experiences do I want to have in this one short life? These questions cut through the noise of expectation and bring you face to face with your authentic desires. Maybe your dream is to start your own business and build something meaningful from the ground up. Maybe it's to write a book that shares your unique voice with the world. Maybe it's to master a creative skill like music, art, or photography. Maybe your deepest desire is to transform your health, travel the world, learn new languages, or leave a positive mark on your community. Whatever it is, stop ignoring those desires as if they don't matter. Respect them enough to give them your time, your energy, your effort. Don't wait for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, or the perfect circumstances. They don't exist. Begin with what you have, where you are, and who you are right now. Dedicate time each day to take small, imperfect steps toward what matters most. Consistency is the most powerful form of belief. With each action you take, you send yourself a message: I believe in my future. I believe in my potential. I am worth the effort. But remember, chasing goals does not mean sacrificing balance. It does not mean burning yourself out or neglecting the relationships and responsibilities that also matter. It means showing up with consistency, patience, and discipline, embracing both the challenges and the deep satisfaction that come from honoring your true potential. You don't chase these goals to impress the world. You chase them to become the authentic person you were always meant to be. The moment you decide that your dreams deserve your attention, you become unstoppable. You stop waiting for validation from others because every day your own effort becomes the ultimate validation. Progress, no matter how small, proves your worth to yourself. When your life is fueled by passion from within, your self-love transforms into something fierce, fearless, and free. Now we arrive at the seventh Stoic habit. Celebrate every win, big or small. Robert Brault once said, "Enjoy the little things, for one day you may look back and realize they were the big things." Self-love is not only about discipline and growth, it is also about pausing to recognize how far you've already come. Too many of us have become addicted to self-criticism, blind to our progress, quick to highlight flaws, and slow to acknowledge victories. We cheer for others but forget to clap for ourselves. The Stoics would argue, if you never honor your own growth, how will you ever feel truly worthy of respect, success, and love? That's why celebrating your progress is essential. Every small win is proof that you are moving forward. Did you wake up early and choose discipline over comfort? That's a win worth noting. Did you silence your inner critic and speak kindly to yourself today? That's a victory that matters. Every recognition of progress plants a seed of confidence, showing your soul that it is valued, respected, and seen. Did you make it through another difficult week without giving up on yourself? That alone is a powerful victory. It's proof of your resilience, your courage, and your strength. When you start to recognize and celebrate these so-called small wins, you begin to train your mind to see yourself as someone who is consistently becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable. This creates momentum, not the kind driven by pressure or anxiety, but the kind fueled by pride, confidence, and joy. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one." Celebration isn't arrogance, it isn't ego. It's not about comparing yourself to others. It's about acknowledging something simple and profound, that you are trying, that you are growing, and that you refuse to give up on yourself even when the path gets difficult. That effort deserves recognition. That persistence deserves appreciation. When you make celebration a regular practice, you feed your soul with motivation that no one can take away. You break free from the toxic cycle of never enough because you begin to see clearly. Every single day you are becoming stronger, more capable, and more resilient. Most people wait for someone else to notice their progress before they allow themselves to feel proud. But external validation may never arrive. When you learn to celebrate yourself, you no longer depend on anyone else to tell you that you're worthy. You already know it. To make this a habit, create personal rituals of celebration. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you did well, no matter how small. Maybe you handled stress with patience. Maybe you stayed disciplined when you wanted to give up. Maybe you simply showed up and kept going. Look in the mirror and say, "I'm proud of you for trying today." And when you reach bigger milestones, honor them with something special, not as escape or distraction, but as an intentional act of self-respect. Over time, your brain begins to shift. You naturally start to cheer for yourself, to notice your strengths, to respect your growth. You won't feel desperate for praise or recognition because you've built the beautiful habit of encouraging yourself. Celebration transforms your journey from pure struggle into something deeper: joy, fulfillment, and meaning. It reminds you that life isn't just about arriving at a destination. It's about learning to appreciate the process of becoming who you were meant to be. Every small victory shapes your identity as someone resilient, disciplined, kind, and powerful. Every time you clap for yourself, you teach the world how to treat you. Others will feel your confidence, respect your presence, and be drawn to your energy. But above all, you'll know within yourself that you are enough. Celebrate the unseen victories too. The way you keep trying. Even when you're afraid, the way you treat others with kindness. Even while carrying your own struggles. the way you hold on to your dreams when progress feels painfully slow, the way you heal from past wounds while staying open to love and growth. Remember this, you are already doing far better than you think. You've survived what once felt impossible. You are healing in ways others cannot see. You are blooming in quiet strength, becoming more authentic with each passing day. And that journey, every step of it, deserves to be honored and celebrated with genuine love, gratitude, and respect for yourself. You learn to thrive when you carry your own source of encouragement wherever you go. Say it with conviction, I celebrate my growth every single day. Perhaps you found yourself listening to this message because a part of your soul is tired of waiting for others to love you the way you deserve. Tired of chasing validation from people who may never recognize your worth. Tired of believing that self-love was some distant dream reserved for others, but never for you. Now you see the truth. Self-love is not a luxury. It is not selfish indulgence. It is a choice, a daily discipline, a practice rooted in both ancient wisdom and modern courage. To love yourself more than anyone else is not about ego or superiority. It is about finally coming home to yourself. It is about choosing yourself every single day through your thoughts, your boundaries, your goals, your standards, and your actions. You no longer beg for scraps of attention because you have learned to feed your own heart with respect, kindness, and care. You no longer settle for less because you know your worth. This journey will not always be perfect. Some days you will feel powerful, unstoppable, confident. Other days you may slip back into doubt, criticism, or people-pleasing. That is not failure, that is being human. The key is to keep coming back to yourself with gentleness. Keep speaking to yourself with kindness. Keep honoring your body as a temple. Keep protecting your dreams and your soul. Keep celebrating each small step forward, even the ones no one else sees. Every time you choose yourself over the expectations of others, every time you set a healthy boundary, every time you speak with love instead of cruelty, you heal a little more. You rise a little higher. In time, you become the kind of person who no longer depends on the world to confirm your value because you feel it radiating from within your bones. You walk with peace. You walk with confidence. You walk with the unshakable strength that comes from knowing the most important love of your life already lives inside you. Remember this final affirmation and carry it with you. I love myself louder than the doubts, louder than the criticism, louder than the fear. I love myself enough to rise, to grow, and to thrive.